Good morning, everyone. Rob Bonta here, California Attorney General. I want to thank you all for joining us virtually and appreciate the opportunity to spend some time with you today. We're going to talk a little bit about our settlement in the Purdue bankruptcy case, and happy to answer any questions afterwards. We're here today to announce that in collaboration with a bipartisan coalition of 15 states and other parties, we've reached a historic $7.4 billion settlement in principle with members of the Sackler family and their former company, Purdue Pharma, for their instrumental role in fueling the opioid crisis. I'm grateful to the work of my team and all of our partners whose combined efforts have led to the settlement. I'd like to take a moment to extend my appreciation to my team who don't do it for the recognition, but are going to be recognized anyway. Deputy Attorneys General Michelle Burkhart and Timothy Lundgren, Supervising Deputy Attorney General Judith Fiorentini, Senior Assistant Attorney General Nick Akers, and Special Assistant Attorney General James Toma. Thank you to all of you for your work getting us to this point, and an important accomplishment and proof point today. In this day and age, it's becoming increasingly rare to see an issue that isn't divisive, but holding opioid manufacturers that have fueled waves of addiction and overdose deaths across the U.S. to account is something that we can all get behind, and I'm grateful for that. No community remains untouched by this epidemic, rural or urban, high or low income, Republicans or Democrats, children or adults. It's touched us all. Today, we're making it clear DOJ isn't afraid to take on corporate giants that put profits over the health and lives of Californians. Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family, under the guise of a mission to develop healthier communities, deceptively marketed opioids and played a major role in contributing to our nationwide opioid epidemic. Their marketing and sales practices misled healthcare providers and patients about the addictive nature of opioids and has led to overprescribing and serious addiction. Because of their greed, 130 Americans die every day from an opioid overdose. Today's $7.4 billion settlement will deliver funds, critical funds, to states, to local governments, affected individuals, and others. While we can't bring back the lives that were lost and we can't restore the communities that were irreparably harmed, we can bring Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family to justice. And we can use settlement funds for treatment and prevention strategies going forward, and crucially, to keep more people from falling victim. A significant amount of the settlement funds will be distributed in the first 3 years, very front-loaded, with the Sacklers paying $1.5 billion and Purdue paying nearly $900 million in the first payment. This will be followed by $500 million after 1 year, an additional $500 million after 2 years, and $400 million after 3 years. In California, we expect to receive hundreds of millions from the settlement. Additionally, the settlement marks the end of the Sacklers' control of Purdue and prohibits them from selling opioids in the U.S. A board of trustees selected by affected states in consultation with the other creditors will determine the future of the company. Purdue will continue to be subject to oversight by a monitor and will be prevented from lobbying or marketing opioids. In the spirit of continued transparency, the settlement will make over 30 million documents related to Purdue and the Sacklers' opioid business public. This includes documents otherwise protected from disclosure. I'm grateful that this was all possible because last year, the U.S. Supreme Court invalidated the bankruptcy plan that non-consensually let the Sacklers off the hook, ruling that the bankruptcy code doesn't allow for such non-consensual releases. I've said it before and I'll say it again, no one is above the law. The harm that Purdue Pharma and the Sackler family have caused through their practices is immeasurable, and the opioid epidemic has given rise to yet another crisis, illicit fentanyl. That's why DOJ is continuing to fight the opioid crisis on 2 fronts. On Wall Street, not including today's settlement, we've secured over $50 billion through nationwide settlements to hold the big opioid peddlers and their accomplices accountable and bring funding back to our state to help combat this crisis. And we're tackling it on Main Street as well. DOJ is on the ground every single day dealing with the impacts of the crisis and working with law enforcement partners, seizing fentanyl, making arrests, and filing serious criminal charges. DOJ will continue to chart a path forward to counteract future distribution, future addiction, and future death. Today's settlement is just one example. Rest assured, if any industry or provider tries to impede on the health of Californians for the sake of turning a profit, we'll be there.